Getting your first set of paid coaching clients is a lot easier than you think. Take my client Mercedes, for example, who landed her first set of clients in just 10 days after putting her offer live and made over $8,000. She also keeps sending me messages of new clients signing up every other day or so. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the same process that I take my clients through to get results like Mercedes. That way you don't have to spend years trying to find clients like I did in the beginning. And if you're serious about finding high-paying clients as soon as possible, I have a really helpful guide that gives you 15 proven ways to find your next high-ticket client. I've tested every single one of these myself over the years and built a six-figure business doing them, and these are by far the best ones that you can start using right away. Inside this guide, I'll not only show you where to look for these high-paying clients, but also what to say to get them interested in investing thousands of dollars to work with you, and you don't have to be pushy or awkward to do any of this. It's a great complement to this video, so I'd recommend downloading it and applying what you learn here as well. I'll put it as the first link in the description, or you can always go to profityourknowledge.com/clients. Now, the first thing we have to do if you want to start getting real paying coaching clients is to solve a real problem for a real person. Now, it sounds so obvious, but you have to understand that people don't pay for coaching. They pay for solutions to their problems. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I really just want to pay thousands of dollars to a person and get coaching in general. No, we invest to get support to achieve a specific result. Every single night, people are waking up in the middle of the night and thinking, how the heck am I going to get out of this? Or how am I going to figure this thing out? It could be creating an extra side of income to pay off their mortgage or some huge mountain of debt that they have. It could be finding the love of their life and not being lonely anymore. It could be, how am I going to lose this weight so I can actually pick my kids up and run with them in the park? It's your job as a coach to position yourself as somebody who can help these people solve these burning problems. Now, it is important when you're coaching to be niche, but a lot of coaches go way too niche and it turns into a problem. Now, you don't want to be someone who solves all of these huge problems because then you just aren't really marketable. You want to be a specialist in solving one of these specific problems, but that problem should be something that millions of people deal with every single day. But a lot of coaches just keep going too niche and it actually becomes a detriment. Take my client Renee, for example. She teaches people how to sing, and she worked with some coaches before we had met, and they were having her go way too niche. She was trying to target entrepreneurs because they always have money, which isn't really true, but she was targeting entrepreneurs and teaching them how to sing as if they have this extra passion for singing on the side while they're trying to grow their business. And Renee was going to come in to help them ignite that passion so that they could put more energy into building their business because they had more energy in singing. You know what I mean? And while that could potentially be a very tiny percentage of people out in the world, it's just not what Renee was really a specialist in. Renee has been teaching people how to sing for over 20 years. And there are people who wake up in the middle of the night saying, I just want to sing better. I want to crush it on karaoke night. I want to finally get into that band or into that church gospel or choir. And they really want to level up their skills. Or maybe they just want to fulfill that passion for themselves. So I was like, Renee, why don't you just teach people how to sing? After making this change, Renee messaged me that she had her first $10,000 month back in December. And since then, she's been earning consistently $12,000 per month teaching people how to sing. So it's good to be niche, but not too niche. The biggest thing is you have to be solving a real legitimate problem that people have and that you can actually solve it for them. So to get your wheels turning on this, I want you to think about a couple questions. What do people naturally come to you seeking advice for? Is it relationships? Is it how you invest your money? Is it how you make money? Another great question is, what's a big problem that you've solved for yourself? What problems did you have months or years ago that were keeping you up in the middle of the night? And you said, man, if I could just figure this out and how to do this, my life would be so much better. One example from my own life is that at one point early on in growing my business, I was $40,000 in credit card debt of other people's money. It was terrifying. It was frustrating. I didn't know how I was going to make the money, but I was trying to grow my coaching business. So in facing this, I really just got serious and learned how to get coaching clients like you are right now and just grow my business in general. When I got serious about it, I ended up paying off that debt in about 1.5 years on top of everything else I had going on in my life. So there's a lot inside of that. It's that I had to change my mindset around debt and just money in general, but also I had to find ways to grow my coaching business. So there's a lot of ways there that I can support other people who maybe have $100,000 or more in debt, and they feel like it's a mountain that they're never going to get past. What you have to remember is that coaching is about helping people solve big problems, and problems have price tags. The bigger the problem, the more people will pay to solve that problem. You have to understand that nailing your coaching niche isn't something that you do behind closed doors. You have to actually figure it out on the fly by actually working with people. So when you get clear on a handful of problems you've actually been able to solve yourself, it helps you get clear on other people that you could help, and you become more of a detective and just getting into conversations and offering to help these people. Over time, you'll learn who you like working with, who you don't like working with, and also how you can better help these people solve their problems. So once you found a real problem that you know you can help people solve, now we want to build your offer. Now, as I just mentioned, the bigger the problem, the more people are willing to pay to solve it. So your offer is the solution to their problem. If they are stuck at point A and they want to get over here to point B where life is so much better, they have less stress, they have more money, or more choice, whatever it is with their life, your offer is the bridge that gets them from point A to point B. Now, typically, it's much easier to sell something that has a monetary ROI or return on investment. For example, if I say the investment to work with me is $10,000, but I help you make $30,000 in the first couple months like I did with Mercedes, and you know how to do it again and again and again, it's pretty much a no-brainer investment. But if you are in a niche right now or trying to pursue one that you don't really know how to connect an ROI to it with money, then there's always the ROI of time. For example, if you're a dating coach, think about how much time you can save people who are constantly getting ghosted, stuck on dating apps, dreading even opening a dating app, or never taking advantage of the opportunities that are presented to them with men or women. Or maybe they're just dealing with crappy dates all the time. By teaching them how to date effectively and find the right partner and have more choice with dating, they are saving so much time and they're having more confidence, and that is a huge value add. Time and money are the two greatest return on investments that we can have. So really tying in your offer to how much time it's going to save someone or get them back, or how much money it's going to save them and or make them, you will be a lot more successful by doing that. And please know that you do not need to have the perfect offer planned out. You just need a clear roadmap to help them get from where they are to where they want to be. And if you really are an expert or know how to solve this problem, you should be able to map out a perfect roadmap for me or the person in front of you just by knowing where I'm at, where I want to be, and what's stopping me from getting there. For example, I want you to think about the thing that you would love to help people with. If I was your client and I said, I'm really struggling with this. This is all the things I'm feeling. I feel this way. I'm struggling with this. This is how I see it. And I'd love to be over here. I want my life to look like this. But I feel like I can't really get there because of blank. You'd probably be able to know exactly what the roadmap is for me. And that's the key point. The beautiful thing about coaching is that you don't need to have everything figured out. You are the product and you can customize things on the fly based on the unique individual that's sitting in front of you, but you still need to be a specialist. The coaching offer that I always recommend to people as a good baseline for giving you a little bit of structure to get started is to do one-on-one coaching for 3 months. Now you can meet once a week like I recommend, or you can do every other week. The cadence totally depends on your offer, what you're helping people do, and how much time you want to invest in as a coach. For an investment, I'd recommend $1,500 to $3,000 for the 3 months. So that's $500 to $1,000 per month. You can also give them a paid in full discount if they decide to sign up. So if they do $3,000, if they decide to pay in full, it could be $2,500. And in between your weekly or bi-weekly calls, I'd recommend offering Voxer, Slack, or email support between those calls to better support these people and helping them get the results. That way, when they get on the actual coaching call with you, you can just focus on getting to work. So again, the offer is the bridge that takes them from where they're at and what they're struggling with to where they'd really love to be. And over time, you're going to be more efficient in helping them get from where they are to where they want to be, but that only comes from actually working with people. Now, the big question is, how do you find people who are actually willing to pay you $1,500 to $3,000 or more? Well, this is where we use my framework: connect, inspire, invite. Now, the first piece is to connect. We want to connect with people who fit the type of person that you know you can help. For example, if you would love to work with amateur golfers and helping them go pro, that is a good enough indicator of finding where amateur golfers are hanging out. It could be golf meetups. It could be actually on the golf course. Or you could also go to golfing conventions and connect with these people. But the first step is always to get connected in a real conversation with these people. And again, when you download my 15 proven ways to find your next high ticket coaching client guide, I'm going to give you 15 of the best ways that you can use to find them. It really doesn't matter what your niche is. Any niche can be applied to this as long as you're solving a real problem for real people. Now, 2 of my favorite ways from that guide to help you get started fast is to first tap into your warm network, the people that you already know that are in your contact list or that you know in your community. And second, to attend paid events. Paid events are an amazing place to go to. For example, if you went to a paid convention or event with amateur golfers who are trying to go pro and you help amateur golfers go pro because you became a pro at one point. These people already invested to learn more about this, and then you show up and build genuine relationships with them. And it's just an obvious next step that if they like you, they're going to want to learn more about how you can help them and maybe help them at the convention or talk about gear, whatever it is. Paid events and tapping into your warm network are 2 of the best ways to get started in finding high-paying coaching clients. Something I do with my clients is I have them all take on a 30 invites challenge. And this is exactly what Mercedes did. Now, what you're going to do is challenge yourself to do 30 high-quality conversations with the people that you want to help, your target audience, in 30 days. Now, a lot of people are going to say offer strategy sessions, and essentially that's what we're doing. I just don't like the word strategy session. I try and reframe the purpose of this call into something that's more benefit driven to the person that I'm reaching out to. So for example, if I was a YouTube channel expert and I help people grow their subscriber count in their YouTube channels and make money from YouTube, I could offer, instead of strategy sessions, YouTube channel audits. So my challenge here would be for me to go find people who have YouTube channels or are thinking about starting YouTube channels and offer them YouTube channel audits completely free. On this call, I would sit down with them for an hour and I'll cover what they're doing well with their channel, what they're doing not so well, and how they can fix it and really grow their channel. And they're not going to pay me a dime. I'm just here to support them. And in 30 days, I'm going to try and do at least 30 of these conversations by reaching out to my network, going to paid events, joining Facebook groups or communities, and connecting with my target audience. Now, the whole thing here is that we're leading with value. And that's how you actually grow a coaching business. It's by coaching people. Now, once you connect with the people who fit the type of person that you know you can help, then we move on to the next piece, which is to inspire them. In these conversations, after getting connected, we want to inspire them to see and feel that what you can help them do is possible for them. When you connect with your people at, let's say, a paid event or at a networking event of some kind, share stories of how you have solved the same problems that they have with people that you've helped, or even how you've solved that problem in your own life. When they can see that you are a person who knows how to solve this problem, naturally, they're going to want to seek advice. And you don't have to be awkward or pushy or anything weird in order to do that. Just go with the flow of the conversation and ask questions that bring out these type of conversations. And when they're on this high and they feel inspired and they see you as someone who can actually help them, and they even reach out to you and say, hey, do you think I could pick your brain a little bit? Then you want to do the last step, which is to invite them. Invite them to take the next step in helping them achieve their goals. Ask them questions about their situation, their goals, and obstacles. And the more that you ask and get curious about them and how you can help them, the more they're going to want to see how you can help them. The goal of these conversations is to get to the point where you can ask, do you want some help with that? This is where you would offer to book another call or even invite them into your coaching program, depending on the situation and the conversation. So connect with people who would fit the type of person that you know you can help, inspire them to see and feel that what you can help them do is possible for them, and then invite them to take the next step in helping them achieve their goals, which is typically to join your coaching program. Now, I can't stress enough how important it is to be proactive when you're trying to find clients and not passive. I spent years chilling on the couch or inside my room, building things behind closed doors, trying to perfect my niche and my offer and my marketing and all that kind of stuff. When in reality, I made the most money I ever made when I started getting in real conversations with people that I knew I could help and just did it messy. Over time, I got way more clear on who I enjoy working with, refined my offer to create it into something that they actually desired because I really knew, I wasn't guessing. And all that came from being incredibly proactive and getting out there, not being passive. It's about making real, raw, and direct invites, because real invites are a clear yes or a no. They're not this wishy-washy middle of, yeah, if you want to maybe work together sometime, I might be able to help you, like so many people do. But that's passive. Saying, hey, I know I can help you. Do you want help with that? That is a yes or no question. And it's okay if people say no, you're going to be told no, but no is an acronym. It stands for next one. So be bold and make invites. And when you make an invite, make it a clear yes or a no. Like, yes, I would love to take advantage of this call with you, or no, I'm okay with that. I think I'm good. Either way, it's totally okay. Have a high intention of serving this person with a low attachment to whether they say yes or no. And even when you get on calls with people, be a detective. You want to get a clear diagnosis by asking questions of where they're at, what they're struggling with, and where they want to be, and then you prescribe a solution. If you start prescribing solutions without ever getting a clear diagnosis, that's like going to the doctor and them saying, you need this pill. And you're like, I haven't even told you what I'm struggling with or where my pain is. And that is a bad practice. So always get a clear diagnosis and know exactly how you can help this person. And then if it makes sense, prescribe your solution. Now, nailing your niche is an incredibly important part of this, but if you're still trying to wrap your head around finding the right coaching niche for you, watch this video and I'll help you nail your high-paying coaching niche in 10 minutes or less. If you have any questions about finding your next set of high-paying coaching clients, leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer it. Take what you learned here, get out there, make something happen. I'll see you in the next one.